What's going on? Welcome back to the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. One of the joys of being an old school wrestling fan is when you get these nostalgia bombs, and we got one on Saturday night. World Wrestling Entertainment how many times have they done it now? Bringing back for the fourth or fifth time, Saturday night's main event, a staple of the 80s, a staple that was something that started right before I became a big major WWF fan. And I have fond memories of Saturday night's main event. And this year's edition, this December's edition of it, definitely was full of member berries. That is the whole thing about the show. Now, right off the bat, I enjoyed the show, but I will tell you what, as far as watching this for wrestling matches, no. The show was not about having good wrestling matches. As you know, it is what it is. The best match on the show, I will say for that part of the show, because that's what I'm going to talk about, what I enjoyed. The best part of the wrestling was the match with Gunther, Finn Balor, and Damien Priest. I thought that was excellent. The rest of it, I judge it usually by if I start looking at my phone, start tweeting, or start looking at something else or checking my stock portfolio or something during the match. If I'm doing that, it's probably not a great match. Nothing major really came out as far as major title changes. We have the new U.S. Women's Champion, Chelsea Green. Well deserved. I hate using that word because it's all fiction, so nothing's really deserved, but you're cast, not deserving. But she was cast in the right role as being a U.S. Women's Champion right now. The main event, Cody and Kevin Owens, was an okay match. It's more about the climax and more about the commentary, which I'll talk about in a second. But the big thing coming out of that match, Cody retained the championship. But Kevin Owens, after the match, came back after they went off air, which they've been doing a lot with Kevin. This is one of these cool things WWE's doing now, man. They know how to hype. After the match, Kevin Owens attacks Cody in the ring, gives him that dreaded pile driver, which they are pushing. This is an old school thing, pushing a pile driver as a banned move. Hurt Randy Orton, kayfabe, and now the thought is that it's going to take out Cody Rhodes for a couple of weeks because he's got some other obligations apparently. But after that, he walked off with the championship, the Winged Eagle. Speaking of Saturday night's main event, the old 1988 Winged Eagle Championship. That was the WWF World Heavyweight Championship for 10 years straight, from 88 to 98, when Austin finally traded it in for the larger Winged Eagle belt. But Kevin Owens walked out with that belt, and Triple H confronts him in the aisleway. And a lot of this is all done again, like they did with Owens attacking Cody a couple months ago. A lot of it came from fans on social media, on TikTok, on Twitter or X. Instagram. Fans recorded the incident after the cameras went off the air and posted it online. WWE, again, brilliantly, I don't care what you say. Again, the wrestling matches on this show, the drama, the spectacle, the hype of WWE is at an all-time high, and for that aspect of it, it's very enjoyable to watch. But the thing I like most about Saturday night's main event, again, old school fan here. I've been watching wrestling roughly since 1985 when I was a little tiny kid. And I remember Saturday night's main event. And I sometimes I would have to go to my aunt's house to watch it because my parents, they had things going on in the house. They had their own parties. So I would have to go to my aunt's house to watch it. And I remember distinctly sitting in my aunt's basement watching Hogan and Andre, that February 1988 Saturday night's main event that was the debut of the Winged Eagle Championship. And to this day, and this is a record that probably will never be broken, is the most watched North American wrestling event ever on television. 33 some odd million people, something around there, watched that. We talked today about ratings. I'm like, that's why I, as an old school fan, again, I kind of laugh at the ratings conversations today. I'm like, dude, I remember back in the day, 33 million people watched Hogan and Andre. It is what it is. But here's the crazy thing about the night. It's the nostalgia that got me. And no more so than Jesse the Body Ventura. Yes, the former governor, making a return to WWE. I think he's been back a couple of times. The most notable return he had after he originally left in the early 90s. He was the special guest referee at SummerSlam. I think it was SummerSlam 99. The one where right before Austin got taken out for a while because of injury and he needed surgery. But Jesse, for those of you who don't know, and this is the crazy thing about it, when he said it had been how many years, since 30, 40 years since he'd been in WWE, he's right. I remember the last time I remember Jesse Ventura doing color commentary was in WCW in 1993, 94, and then he left right around the time Hogan came in. So, and of course, then he became governor, and he had all that stuff going on with him. But Jesse, I was quickly reminded of being a 8, 9, 10-year-old kid and sitting in my living room floor and hearing Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon argue, and hearing Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon argue. And the thing about Jesse, which made Jesse Jesse, is he could always point out the holes in the baby faces' storylines and the baby faces in-ring matches. So Hogan would rake the eyes, and Jesse be like, "Hey McMahon, why are you ignoring that? If it's because it's one of your favorites. If Bundy had done that, you'd be crying holy hell." He would do that all the time, right? The closest we've had to him since Jesse stopped doing color commentary is Corey Graves. But now hearing Jesse back on color commentary, and it sounds like he's almost like not missed a step. There's a couple points where you can tell he's older because his voice cracks a little bit, but he's still Jesse, and he's still doing the same things. He pulled out that was a slow count. Yes, that's what Jesse Ventura used to say all the time when I was a kid. He complained about the counts. He complained about the referees. He called the baby faces out when they cheated. He did so in this match because Cody used the chair to get the pin on Kevin Owens. And no announcers these days point this out about the heels and the faces. Jesse Ventura was based before based was a term, and he was based in pro wrestling. So as you can tell, I was just absolutely, I did not know that was happening. I thought that was great. Them bringing back the blue bars and the red, white, and blue ropes, the referees wearing the blue shirts with the bow ties, them doing a little stage, having the pre-show commentaries, all that stuff was just great. Even them not having the big stage, the big titantron, although to be noted, WWE on a lot of its bigger events lately, they've been getting away from the big stage. I know like Survivor Series didn't have a big stage, and I think one of the international pay-per-views or PLEs this year didn't have the big stage. And I think that's kind of an interesting thing because they're the ones who kind of innovated it when they brought out the Titantron for Raw. And every wrestling promotion around the world has now copied that setup. And now the funny thing about it is WWE's getting rid of it for a lot of their shows, especially these big ones, where it's like, why would we cut off 1/6 of the arena when we can have another 2,000 fans pay to come see the show? Why don't we do something else with the entrance ramp sometimes on some of these shows where we're probably going to be able to sell more tickets and make more money? Outside of that, overall, I like the show. I like the presentation. That is WWE, man. They do it like nobody else. It's really it's not, again, I've always said it's sports entertainment. It's getting further and further away from being a wrestling show or a show about wrestling and more of a show about the WWE Universe. And that's the way they've always sold it. It's different. It's its thing. It's bright, big, bright, loud, and colorful. And sometimes they do it well, like they've been doing for the past couple of years. Enjoy the ride is what I'm saying. Enjoy the ride. WWE is doing its sports entertainment stuff well. They gave me a lot of member berries. And as long as I look at it for that kind of stuff, it's all good for me. But I want to know what you guys think. Are you a sports entertainment fan, and did you enjoy it more than I did? Are you an old school fan, and did this bring back some other memories for you of Saturday night's main event? Or are you a new fan and you didn't know anything about Jesse Ventura or Saturday night's main event? Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. Got some other videos. We got stuff to talk about with New Japan. Of course, they finished up the World Tag League and had an event over at the Walter Pyramid that had some pretty interesting outcomes. And we also have a video about AEW and catching up with the Continental Classic, and as we head towards World's End and what AEW needs to do in 2025. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so you know when those videos come out. And until next time, I'll see you guys here for more news, rumors, and commentary on the Rant and Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.